Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric SuperCar channel. This week we're going to take out a Nissan 300ZX motor and transmission. Let's get to it. Today we have an electric vehicle charger from EV Junction. I always love the carrying cases. So this is a 40 amp or 9.6 kilowatt charger. It's a fast charging system getting 38 miles in 1 hour. This has features to schedule your charging time so you can charge during off-peak hours to save you money. It has a 21-foot length cable, it has an LED screen, and the car is monitored to show charging status during use. I always like the dust covers. It feels really nice. Look at that. Looks really good. Looks really nice. All right, this is always the funnest part. All right, we're gonna plug it in and see what happens. This is for the vacuum hose, but right here, we're gonna mount this charger. So let me show you how easy it is. It even snaps into place. Ta-da, perfect. Show you the screen here. So it looks like there's your time delay, current temperature, current voltage. So to access the settings, it says we push this one long. So you got options of 16, 20, 24, 32, and 40. So if you just do a quick press, it'll toggle. And a long press, it's got these dots, and then when it gets there, you're good. So now we'll go try charging the car. So let's plug it in and see how it does. You will have to excuse the messy garage, but this is always one of the tests we do. So the charging location is in this bay. We've got another bay, and then in the far bay, this is where we have the Electric SuperCar. And so we're gonna test if the 21 feet of cord is able to reach that location. It reaches with ease. So now we're in timer set, so you can do a 0, 2 hour, 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, 10 hour, 12 hour. We're gonna stick with the 0 hour. And then the current set, it's got 16 amps, 20 amps, 24, 32, and 40. So we're gonna stick with 40. All right, we'll go try it out. So we'll let this charge for several hours and see how it does. So you can see it's ramping up the amperage. It's got all the display items you need. You saw that it could charge up to 40 amps, and that is comparable with other expensive home EV chargers. This charger is also IP67 waterproof and dustproof, so you can charge outside when there's light rain. So that is a great product. If you're in the market for an EV charger, I'll leave a link in the description below. Like we do with all of our builds, we're gonna get an initial weight. So this still has very minimal gas. I mean, the gas says it's on empty. Other than that, I'm sure it's still got all its fluids and things, coolant, windshield wiper fluids, all those fun things. So we'll see what this one weighs. So the total weight is 3146. So there's the front to rear, so 57.2 in the front, 42.8 in the rear. So this is right to left. We're pretty well balanced there. Okay, so there's kilograms. So 1429 kilograms. All right, it's time to start removing the gas tank. Oh my gosh, that is so much dirt. Oh, is that dirt or rust? All right, so that's to get to, this is kind of the filler neck. And I think if we take this off, we could probably just siphon it out or maybe again get from on top. We are at the back of the Nissan. Took out the spare tire. I think this is access to the top of the fuel tank. We're just gonna see if it's gonna be easier to remove the fuel from here or from the filler neck. Not a lot of access. Just wanna let the customer know I found your black crayon. If you're missing it, just contact me. I can ship it back. This build is making me money already. It's a quarter. I'm gonna have to lower the tank a little bit to get access to, there's kind of 2 bolts that are under. All right, I've got the jack here supporting the gas tank, and I'm gonna begin with starting. There's kind of bolts like right there and right there. There's just kind of these 2 main straps. Just see if I can drop it just a little bit, a few millimeters, to see if I can get access on top. So that bolt and that bolt, those are the last ones I think holding the gas tank on. Again, we've got it supported with our jack. We'll take those ones off. I think we need to lower it just a bit to get access to the plug I think the plug is one of the last things that's connecting. There's also, I think, a breather line that kind of goes through the frame rail, so we just can't drop it. So we'll get these bolts loosened and see if we can take the whole thing off. Oh, there it is. Okay. There we go. The customer brought this back empty. When I say empty, like it was past empty. And it is amazing. I don't know how well you can see, but like how much gas there is still in here. So we'll go ahead and empty it out. Okay. We are here at the front of the Nissan, and we're gonna start taking off some of these under panels. We need to drain the coolant and get some of these things off. I've done the tiniest bit of research online, so I do have the service manual. It is very vague and it's 30 years old, and it's got like removing the engine in like 4 steps with like 2 pictures. So not super helpful. So I do know we need to take off the starter motor, so we're gonna start with that. Also need to get the coolant out, so we're gonna take some things apart. This is gonna hurt. Jeez. All right. Time for a breaker bar. Oh, there we go. This is just a cover plate. Ugh. Holy cow, there we go. I heard you last time about the impact sockets. You know, the black ones. So there we go. Now we got an impact socket. It's not that I'm ignoring you. I'm not made of money, and yeah, it's on the list of things that I would like to have. All right, note to self, it goes in, up, and then over. You guys are gonna like this. There's some stitch work up here. From the front, yeah, I mean, I don't even see anything. All right, there's the stitch work on that kind of front lip area. Looks like they did it pretty good. All right, so right here looks like there's potentially I'll call it a drain spot. So we're gonna see if we can open this and if it drains the coolant. Oh, starting. You see that? Come on, baby. Let's go. There it goes. Well, I'm gonna go open up the radiator cap, see if we can get it to go a little faster. All right, here is the radiator cap. Oh, come on, man. Always a mess with coolant. Holy cow, yeah, the radiator cap helped, but man, it just was shooting all over everything. So paper towels, here we come. Yeah, without fail, always gonna make a mess, but basically when I took so that's where it's coming out. When I took the radiator cap off, it like sprayed hard enough that it was hitting this and kind of wrapping around and just spraying everywhere. So fun. So next we're gonna go ahead and drain the transmission fluid. Holy cow. Nope. Oh my gosh. Gotta go for the bigger breaker bar. There There we go, finally. Think that'll hold it all? All right. Here we go. Well, I misjudged how much transmission fluid. It's gonna have more transmission fluid than motor oil. I'm going to take off the fan from the front of the motor. There's 3 of them loose. All right, I was able to get the radiator out. In order to get the radiator out, I had to get the fan out, or at least get it loose. So the fan is mounted to the engine right there. There's just 4 nuts that you have to undo. Then the whole radiator is free to come out. There's just, let's say these 2 that go to the engine. The one that was on top goes right here, and it goes down somewhere over there. And then these 2, they were also hooked to hoses to the bottom of the radiator. And so I thought they'd be full of coolant, but they look like they're more full of the transmission fluid. Just 2 brackets here on top, and the whole thing can lift out. And there we go. One of the first things I did was disconnect the negative terminal from the battery. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start taking off hoses and electrical connectors from the engine. There we go. 1. Got like 50 to go. Holy cow. How long are you? Oh, there we go. There we go. There's 2. There's that one. Oh, yeah. Something's leaking somewhere. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can hear it. Where the heck is it coming? That one smells like gas. Holy cow. Yeah, that one's all the way in the back. Right here. It's so dark, you probably can't see. But I've got that fuel line, I tucked it right there. I kind of, when I took it out, I drained it down and nothing else was coming out, so I just put it up. When I took those lines off, dumped more gasoline back here. Can't believe how many vacuum lines are on this thing. It would be awesome if there was like one connector right there. We could just take everything off. Instead, I gotta undo like 50 connectors. And they're all underneath things like fuel rails and air intakes. We are getting closer, but we are not there yet. So I've got most of the wiring off of the front and that side. I've found I've got to undo this one. There's also like a ground bolt here. And then the fuel rail, I think I've got to take that off because there's one more connector down there. And boy, these connectors I do not like. So these connectors have this metal clip around them. And so it is super challenging to get into like these tight cavities and undo that metal clip to get these connectors off. So I'm not enjoying that, but I think I'm just about done. Every time I think we're done, there's another grounding screw or another connector. So the best I can tell, I've got everything clear from this side, from the front, and from this side. The back is much more challenging to see. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another vacuum hose or something back there. I'll also look from underneath. But the one thing that I have not touched yet is the AC hoses. So I need to get the AC gas out of this car. And this one's actually old enough that it uses R12, which is a really old gas and really bad for the environment. So I actually found a local company that does kind of mobile AC stuff, and so they're coming here to help me get it out. So I'm sure it's more specialized than this, but is it just kind of like a vacuum, and this is where it's putting the stuff?
So it's a push and pull system on this one. So it's going to vacuum and suck out. What's happening right now is I'm getting this. This is called a hazardous waste system. This is something we use mostly for in the area of hazardous waste with the 134 and the 1234. We remove it as a hazardous waste as it's such an old Freon.
I can hear some stuff.
A little bit. Oh, yeah, we do. Hey, sealed system works great. So we do have Freon in there. And we're just going to go ahead and flip this on. So we got it. So it's going to pretty much pull it into here, and then it's going to go from my machine into the hazardous waste machine tank. So it should have a vacuum now. So when you do go open it, it may sound like a hiss, but it's actually an inhale rather than an exhale.
Gotcha. All right, the gas is out, so we can continue with the engine removal. So we'll go ahead and disconnect all the AC hoses. Okay, way down there are the two screws that are holding the AC lines on. So it's pretty challenging to get to it, but those are the last ones I think we need to get before we can start undoing motor mounts. Oh my gosh. There it is. I believe we got almost everything disconnected. I think there's a few heater hoses kind of in the very back, but I think it might be easiest to undo those when we've got the engine hoist on and the motor mounts are loose. We can bring it forward just a little bit. We'll disconnect those before we get it all out. The other thing though is the transmission. I know people can take out the motor and transmission all as one unit. I believe the motor's been sold and the transmission has been not. So we're gonna need to separate them anyway, and I think it might be easiest while it's up in the air and get good access to all the bolts. I may change my mind once I'm started. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think we'll have one more. Go. How many threads does this thing have? I can get carpal tunnel. Man, the threads on these things are killing my hands. I've all got like 20 threads. There we go. It looks like a murder scene. I was just getting the transmission lines
off both sides. Right here is called the automatic transmission lever. So that kind of tells it what gear to put in. So we'll take this one off. Now I've got all the bell housing bolts loose except for, I think it's the top one on that side. So I'll see if I can reach that one. Otherwise I need like a 3-foot extension, or I can just take the motor and transmission out together. I had to buy an extra 20-inch extension. So we'll see if this is long enough. I swear it's on. I really hope that got it loose. I think it did. All that for this little guy. Whew. Secret combination. We had a 20-inch long, this is just a straight, not a wobble, followed by, I think this is a 10-inch wobble, followed by a universal joint and a long 14mm socket. For those of you at home that are following along, that's what you need. So I believe all of them are loose now, so we're going to go ahead and support it and take off the rest. Come on, get off. So we'll try and see if I can lower this, or maybe have to pry off the gasket. Every time I think I'm there's one more thing. So right here, can you even see that? Right there's a connection. Almost looks like an AC type of connection, but it's just, I don't know. All right, so we are going to take off this rear transmission mount so we can start to lower it. Okay, that seems like it might be coming. I'm taking the donut off. I can't seem to get it quite far enough that way without taking it off. So I've got a socket on the crankshaft just to be able to turn it around so I can get access. Because there's 4 bolts, and here, we'll just spin it right now. And so there's the next one. So got to take off 4 of those, and I think the transmission should be free. All right, so this one's looking good. I don't think there's anything above. And this side, we're off as well. So I think I'll bring this down and try and put it on a cart. Hopefully it's not caught anywhere else. Okay, we have successfully transferred the transmission to the cart, but there's still one wiring harness that's, I think it's detached, but I think there's clips on it that are attached to the transmission. So I gotta get those off before we take it the rest of the way. So basically I've got 2 cables right here, and I believe I've unplugged the connectors. It's just there's like 2 spots that I think we just need to get rid of, maybe 3. So we're gonna do that real quick. The other one is, that is a dipstick for the transmission fluid, and that one I did not, I tried to take it out, but you see, I don't know if you can see how long that is, but from there all the way down to there, there's just like no room to kind of keep tugging that up. So that one was a pain in the butt and got bent, as you can see. But yeah, we'll take these clips off and continue to remove this. What the heck is this? Connectors, people, where's the connector? It's like hardwired right all the way to here, and then there's wires inside of here. I think this is gonna be the same thing. I think I've got to find a connector up top or something, because this is ridiculous. This is the same cable that goes from underneath. Just have to undo these 3 connectors and fish all the wires down there. Okay, so I'm sure it's fastened along the way a couple places, but we'll get those off and get this off. Oh, and look at this now, just is happily to come out. All right, but I do think that means that we are completely detached, so we'll go ahead and get the lift up and move this out of the way. It is out, so we'll get this on a pallet. All right, in order to get the engine hoist in position, this front bumper sticks out too far, so we're gonna have to take it off. So there's just some screws from underneath, gotta take out these lights right there, all the fun stuff. Ta-da! Oh my gosh, it's like a long bar. Okay, is it attached? Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. Just hold that for a second. I'm just gonna put it right back on. Let's just go over the top, you think? Does that work? We've got the transmission out. Now we're looking at what other connectors and things we may need to get out of the way. I'm sure there's a power steering pump that's got some things that I need to take off. This side looks pretty clean, and then up top, it's just super crowded. I'm sure there's I think these are gonna be like heater hoses that I need to take off. And then to get the motor out, so this is the oil pan and this is the steering rack, and it's gotta go kind of like straight up, like, I don't know, what's that, like 4 or 5 inches before it can move forward at all. So this one here has some tubing that we've got to get off as well. I'm also going to take out the battery, just give as much room as we can. Without the transmission, this thing is loose. I mean, I know why they do it, but every plug is different, and so it means every time you're trying to unplug it, you don't know quite how to do it. Okay. I think we've got everything removed. When we do this, though, I'm sure we'll learn that there is something that's not quite removed. While the car's in the air, we're going to go ahead and loosen. When I say loosen, we won't take it off, but we'll just get these loose, the motor mounts, and that way when we're ready, we can just kind of thread them off easy and then try to lift the engine. We are midway through. I think at least twice we had a strap once that was around the steering rack, and another time that it was actually under the subframe. So when we were pulling up, we were just pulling up the whole car. So got the straps all figured out. We're now, I think we're pretty much free. There was a couple more connectors back here. And it's just like, man, I don't know how you're supposed to get those out while the engine's in the car. There's just no room. But now I think we're up high enough, and I think we're cleared the oil pan, so I think this should go pretty quickly. Engine is out. We had one last snag, that's the line for the power steering. So we just had to unhook that one. But yeah, we are done. Major milestone. For projects like this, I usually keep all my tools just on a separate table here. So I'll just go through them real quick and put links for those of you who may want to buy similar tools. So impact driver, label maker. I've got 2 of these long extensions, some breaker bars, ratcheting wrenches, just a whole bunch of sockets, some drivers here. So again, if you need any of these sorts of tools, this is all the tools I use to take the engine apart. I guess maybe I should put this one on there as well, an engine hoist. But yeah, I'll leave a link for those of you who may be looking for some tools. All right, that was quite the chore to get everything out, but I think we did it. I think that's pretty much everything that we need out to make this conversion. So that'll do it for this time. See you next time. I'm calling it the service manual. Is my head in the way the whole time? Hopefully you saw some of that. Technology should just know what I want. For whatever reason, my microphone decided to mute. Come on, dude. Come on, I don't like these plugs. Get you off. Oh my gosh. Get off. No, not the right size. Let's see, what do I want to talk about? Oh, don't you dare drip on me. So not worth it. Why do I work on cars? Can you even see? I do such a bad job with you guys. Ow, that killed my thumb. There it goes. Sorry.